From the breakup of Pangaea to the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs, Earth has gone through significant changes, often at the cost of many living creatures. In the future, there could be an extinction event so powerful that it might not just wipe out humanity, but could also destroy the Earth itself. One day, our world could turn to dust. So what could it take to completely tear our planet apart? There are many theories about how our planet might meet its end. Today, we will explain the 7 most accepted theories about what the end of the world could be like. Supervolcano. The eruption of a supervolcano represents one of the most catastrophic geological events that Earth could potentially endure. Supervolcanoes, like Yellowstone in the United States, are capable of releasing more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of volcanic material, leading to devastation on a global scale. In a study published in the Geological Society of America Bulletin, Dr. Michael Rampino, a geologist at New York University, examined the eruption of the Toba supervolcano around 74,000 years ago. This eruption triggered a volcanic winter that persisted for several years, resulting in a significant drop in global temperatures and severely impacting biodiversity. The immediate effects of such an eruption would be catastrophic, obliterating the surrounding region and claiming the lives of millions of people and animals due to pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and tsunamis if the eruption occurred near water bodies. The eruption would inject massive amounts of sulfur dioxide, SO2, into the stratosphere, forming sulfuric acid aerosols that would reflect sunlight and further cool the planet. This prolonged volcanic winter could devastate global crops, leading to widespread starvation. Humans might survive for a few weeks or months, relying on existing food reserves and infrastructure. However, the vast majority would likely succumb to hunger and extreme environmental conditions. Reduced sunlight would inhibit photosynthesis, severely affecting plants and marine ecosystems and resulting in the collapse of food chains. Even the more resilient bacterial life and microorganisms would struggle under adverse conditions caused by diminished light and water acidification. Most animal and plant life on the Earth's surface would face extinction. Some organisms might endure in underground shelters or the deep oceans, but biodiversity would suffer a dramatic decline. According to research by Dr. Brian T. Singer, published in Earth and Planetary Science Letters, the likelihood of experiencing a supervolcano eruption during a human lifetime is low, approximately 1 in 730,000 per year, but it is not impossible. While such an eruption would not annihilate the world entirely, it would significantly alter living conditions and bring humanity to the brink of total extinction. The planet's capacity to sustain life would be severely compromised for an extended period, potentially resulting in the extinction of the human race. Asteroid impact. Approximately 66 million years ago, according to scientists, a cataclysmic event known as the Chicxulub impact caused the extinction of the dinosaurs and over 50% of all living beings on Earth. This catastrophic incident was triggered by the collision of a massive asteroid, estimated to be between 10 and 15 kilometers in diameter. The energy released from this impact was equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, resulting in a series of devastating environmental changes that altered the course of life on our planet. The impact theory was first proposed by scientist Luis Alvarez in 1980. Alvarez's research suggested that this collision unleashed a global disaster, wiping out not just the dinosaurs, such as the mighty Tyrannosaurus and gentle sauropods, but also a vast array of plant life and other species. In 2019, further evidence supporting this theory emerged from a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, led by Dr. Sean Gulick, a geophysicist at the University of Texas at Austin. Gulick and his team investigated the Chicxulub crater and uncovered compelling data indicating that the impact generated massive tsunamis and unleashed intense heat, igniting global wildfires. The aftermath of this disaster saw dust and aerosols filling the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for months, and causing a significant drop in global temperatures, which ultimately disrupted the food chain. In the face of a similar catastrophic event today, humans might manage to survive for a few weeks or months, depending on their access to shelter, food, and water. However, the ensuing impact winter would bring about severe conditions as sunlight was blocked, drastically reducing global temperatures and affecting photosynthesis. The collapse of the food chain would impact plants, herbivores, and carnivores alike, leading to widespread extinction among flora and fauna. While the probability of such an event occurring is extremely low, about 1 in 100 million years according to NASA, it is not impossible. If a disaster of this magnitude were to happen again, it would not necessarily signal the end of the world, but could very well signify the end of life as we know it. However, history has shown that life has a remarkable ability to recover from such catastrophic events. Although humanity might face extinction, life would eventually rise from the ashes, paving the way for a new era and the emergence of future dominant species. Nuclear war. There might be catastrophic consequences from a full-scale nuclear conflict, including the extinction of all life on Earth. According to research by the Federation of American Scientists, even a limited deployment of nuclear weapons throughout the world may result in a nuclear winter. This occurs when sunlight is blocked by explosion-related smoke and soot, sharply lowering the temperature. Millions would perish instantaneously from explosions and radiation when nuclear weapons detonate. It would be difficult for humans to endure the intense heat and prolonged radiation for longer than a few months. Rutgers University climate specialist Dr. Alan Robach cautions that a sharp decrease in temperature combined with a lack of sunlight will wipe out crops and cause widespread starvation. During a nuclear winter, global temperatures could stay low for years. The destruction of farms and radioactive pollution of soil and water would make food production nearly impossible. Most people could die within a year due to starvation and extreme cold. Additionally, ongoing radiation could cause long-term health problems like cancer and birth defects in living beings. Animals and plants would suffer greatly too. With less sunlight, photosynthesis would decrease, breaking down the food chain. Some life forms might survive in underground shelters or the deep ocean, but many others would not. While the chances of nuclear war are low, they are still a real threat. A 2020 study by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists highlighted that growing geopolitical tensions and the spread of nuclear weapons pose serious risks to humanity. Although a nuclear war wouldn't destroy the planet itself, life as we know it could end forever. Most ecosystems would collapse, leaving Earth barren and lifeless. If nuclear war did happen, it could take thousands or even millions of years for the planet's biosphere to recover, if it ever does. What's most frightening is that, out of all possible global threats, nuclear war is the most likely to happen in the near future, as it relies only on human decisions in the coming years. Extreme climate change. Extreme climate change is a serious problem that our planet may face. If we keep releasing a lot of greenhouse gases, global temperatures could rise by more than 4 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. This warning comes from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, which says that such a temperature increase could lead to very bad outcomes. Extreme climate change would harm our world in many ways. Dr. James Hansen, a well-known climate scientist and former head of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, warns that severe global warming could create inhospitable conditions. People might be able to survive for a few years, but they would struggle with severe droughts, deadly heat waves, and failing agriculture. This could lead to food and clean water shortages, causing conflicts and forcing people to move away from their homes. In very hot regions, temperatures could reach levels that humans cannot tolerate. Extreme weather events like hurricanes and storms would happen more often and be more destructive. Not only would humans be affected, but nature would also suffer. Many ecosystems would collapse due to the stress of climate change. Species that cannot adapt quickly enough, like corals and certain plants, would likely die out. The risk of extreme climate change is high if we don't take urgent action. The 2018 IPCC report says that without significant cuts in carbon emissions, global warming could exceed 4 degrees Celsius by 2100. While the planet itself might not be destroyed, its ability to support life could change drastically. If we keep going this way, many ecosystems and living things could vanish, leaving a dry and unwelcoming Earth. In the worst-case scenario, if greenhouse gases continue to rise dramatically, Earth could end up looking like Venus. Venus is a planet similar to ours, but its greenhouse effect is so strong that temperatures reach over 450 degrees Celsius, with sulfuric acid rain falling from the sky. Venus is a place where no life can survive, showing us what Earth could become if we do not take care of our environment. Loss of magnetic field. Life on Earth would face serious challenges if our planet's magnetic field disappeared. The magnetic field acts like a shield, protecting us from harmful solar and cosmic radiation. This radiation can be very dangerous to living organisms, including humans. If the magnetic field were to vanish, the surface of the Earth would be exposed to intense solar radiation, which could lead to severe health problems and environmental damage. Dr. Daniel Baker, a leading scientist at the University of Colorado's Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics, warns that if the magnetic field were to disappear, it could make the Earth's surface uninhabitable. He explains that intense radiation would cause serious harm to everything on the surface. This includes plants, animals, and even the buildings and infrastructure we rely on. Without this protective magnetic field, life as we know it would be in great danger. Despite these alarming possibilities, experts believe that the chance of completely losing the Earth's magnetic field is very low. A study led by Dr. Philip Livermore at the University of Leeds shows that while the magnetic field can change and may weaken over time, it is unlikely to disappear entirely in the near future. The magnetic field may experience reversals, where the north and south poles switch places, but it is expected to remain present. This means that while the field may fluctuate, it will continue to provide some level of protection for life on Earth. Death of the Sun in Red Giant. We have discussed many ways that life on Earth could face challenges or even come to an end. However, none of these scenarios could actually destroy our planet. Not even the most powerful nuclear bombs or the largest asteroids can completely obliterate Earth. Yet, there is one event that has the potential to end our world: the future evolution of our Sun. In about 5 billion years, our Sun will enter its final stage and expand into a red giant. During this phase, it will grow so large that its diameter will stretch beyond the orbit of Earth. As the Sun expands, it will absorb everything in its path, including the inner planets, Mercury and Venus, and eventually our home, Earth. This catastrophic event will mark the end of life as we know it on our planet. The Sun is the star that brought our solar system to life. It provides us with warmth and light every day and has made it possible for life to thrive on Earth. Ironically, it is also the same star that will eventually lead to the end of everything we hold dear. However, there is hope for humanity. If we can advance our technology and knowledge in the coming billions of years, we might find a way to leave our solar system and establish ourselves on another similar planet. If we are successful, when the time comes for the Sun to end the cradle of humanity, our descendants could be living safely on another world among the stars. While our distant, dry, and lifeless Earth transforms into gas and dust, this material may one day contribute to the formation of new stars and planets. Some of these new worlds could potentially become homes for future generations of humanity. Thus, while the end of Earth is inevitable, it is also a chance for new beginnings. The universe is vast, and with hope and perseverance, humanity might continue to thrive long after our Sun has completed its journey, creating a new legacy among the stars. Biological and chemical warfare. Unlike nuclear weapons, which require intricate engineering and advanced technology, biological and chemical warfare can be developed at a relatively low cost using accessible materials. This makes them more feasible for a wider range of actors, including rogue states and non-state groups. In recent years, the Syrian government has notably employed chemical weapons during its ongoing civil war, using agents like sarin and chlorine. These attacks have shocked the international community and highlighted the devastating potential of chemical warfare. The release of toxic chemicals into the air or water supply can cause catastrophic harm to populations, leading to widespread suffering and death. Biological weapons pose an even greater threat. With the rapid advancements in synthetic biology, there is a real possibility that malicious actors could engineer harmful pathogens for weaponization. Furthermore, there is the risk of accidental releases by well-meaning researchers working with infectious agents. In a world where a fast-moving pandemic could emerge, humanity would find itself highly vulnerable to such biological threats. The potential consequences of both chemical and biological warfare serve as a stark reminder of the urgent need for international cooperation and stringent regulations to prevent the misuse of these technologies. The risks they pose extend beyond borders, affecting global security and public health. As we move forward, it is essential to remain vigilant and proactive in addressing these challenges. In conclusion, all these scenarios we've discussed are just scientific theories. The universe is vast and full of mysteries that we have yet to understand. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these events do you find the most intriguing or concerning? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Your opinions matter, and we can't wait to read what you think.